Okay, how can we read these graphs? In this graph, Jada is filling her aquarium with water, and the graph shows the height of the water. That is my y-axis, so I'm going to label that. That's my y. The height of the aquarium, the water, and that shows that it is a function of time. So we would say that the height of the water is a function of time. Remember, y is a function of x. So let's talk about the story. So here's the story. This is actually kind of fun to do. I'm going to use green to show the increases. So she starts with an empty tank and she fills the tank up. Okay, she's filling it up and she stops right here at the 10 centimeter mark after 2 minutes. So it took her 2 minutes to fill the tank up 10 centimeters. So what is the slope? Well, we can find the rate or the slope for this by making that triangle. We see the base is 2, so my x-axis is 2 minutes. My y-axis is 10 centimeters. Each box is counting by fives. So this is really a height of 10 and a base of 2. And 10 over 2 would be 5. Okay, so our rate is 5 centimeters per minute. 5 centimeters per minute. Okay, something happens and she turns the water off. So this right here shows that she stops filling the tank. There's no slope here. No slope. 0. So for a minute goes by, no water fills up. Maybe her mom called her. Maybe she had to stop and do something. Maybe she had to go to the bathroom, right? Something happens where she turns the water off here to here, and then she starts it back up again. But notice it's filling at a much faster rate. This line is much steeper than it was initially. She fills it to this point right here, the 30 centimeter mark. Okay, so how many minutes is this? Let's see what the slope is for this line. So we go from 3-minute mark over to the 5-minute mark. That's 2 as well, just like the last time. See how it's a base of 2 minutes. We're going from 3 to 5. But my height is 5, 10, 15, 20. So now I'm filling this tank up at a quicker rate. My slope is actually 20 over 2, which is 10. So for this line, she's filling it at 10 centimeters per minute. So the water is definitely filling up faster. Okay, then she gets to this point here and she stops. And notice there's something going down, right? So there is a decline in the water. So there's a couple things that could be happening here. Maybe there's a leak in the tank, right? Maybe there's a leak in the tank. Maybe she filled the tank up too far and she's letting some of the water out. But regardless, she's getting rid of some of the water. So she went from 30 down to 25. So she let 5 centimeters of water out of her tank, right? This is a negative slope. This is decreasing. So we know the water is draining from the tank. And then finally, she likes the water level after 7 minutes. The water is done, the tank is filled, and she's done, and it stays. Okay? So this is how we read these graphs. They're super fun. Each part of the graph has a slope. We have a couple positive slopes here. We have 2 that have no slopes, and then we have a negative slope. And we can figure out the slope for each one just by making that cool little triangle underneath. So like this one, we know it's a negative slope, 5 over 2. 5 over 2 is that negative slope. So 5 over 2, she's decreasing. So she's decreasing because this is a negative slope. This would be a negative, what? 2 goes into 5 2 times, so 2.5. So she's losing 2.5 centimeters of height per minute. Okay, negative. And then once we get to the 0 slope, there's no change. There's no change. Time is still ticking, but the tank is not increasing or decreasing in water.